Joining us now is Emmet Condon, organiser of A Sliver of Light, Homebeat's midwinter music and arts weekender, which returns to Hotel Doolin later this month. It'll be taking place from the 23rd to the 25th of January. There'll be 3 days of cutting-edge contemporary live music, DJs and curated experiences to the West Clare coast. And to fill us in, let's chat to Emmet now. Good morning to you, Emmet.
Good morning.
Thanks very much for being with us. So A Sliver of Light is returning for its second year from the 23rd to the 25th. What did you take from the 2025 edition that has helped shape this year's festival?
We took that a lot of snow and no power means that a hotel is very busy, basically. That was the main thing, probably. The Sliver last year landed right in the middle of that big massive freeze and all the power cuts. So we had a particular experience, definitely. But we had a really lovely time. A great crowd descended to Doolin for the weekend, and we are hoping to repeat the trick in just a few weeks.
Yeah, you're hoping to repeat the trick, but thankfully there'll be no repeat of Storm AO in any way, at least, which is good news.
Hopefully not. Although, funnily enough, it did create a very interesting atmosphere when the power is cut off for about 20 miles around radius. Hotels like Hotel Doolin become an even more important beacon of light in the landscape. So it did work in our favour in some ways. But no, we'd take normal service in terms of the weather this time, I think.
I did mention earlier, Emmet, that it is something to look forward to in January. Is that part of the reason why Sliver of Light happens towards the end of January? A pretty dark point of the year. It's a very welcome pick-me-up. Yeah,
very much so. That's very much in the design, obviously, with the name, and the idea is just to catch people just as we emerge from the absolute depths of the darkness and the days and the afternoons start to stretch a small bit. And obviously, getting to West Clare at any time of year is great, but it can be particularly atmospheric and beautiful that time of year. And I guess we're hoping another blast of blue skies like we've just had will add to it. But yeah, it's just that point of the year where people maybe are sick of being stuck inside and want to stretch their legs and get out and see some live music and some DJs and have a little dance to shake the cobwebs off and get moving.
And Doolin and the coastline in West Clare are obviously a big part of the experience. How important is the role they play in terms of the identity of A Sliver of Light and attracting people to the event?
Yeah, massively. I mean, obviously Doolin has its year-round appeal for everyone, but I suppose coming from that neck of the woods, down in Kerry myself, the coastline is very much part of our makeup and how we feel about things. But I think getting people out into nature alongside culture is really important, and I think A Sliver does both those things really nicely. There's all the majesty of that Doolin has to offer with the cliffs and walks and saunas and the odd brave swim if people are brave enough to dip a toe before or in between a bunch of great bands and DJs which will be there throughout the weekend.
Speaking of which, tell us more about the great bunch of bands and DJs. What can those attending Sliver of Light expect from the musical front and otherwise?
Yeah, I suppose it's very determined to be a bit of a showcase for some really great emerging Irish bands. We've got bands from people like Laura Duff, who's an amazing singer-songwriter from Limerick, Oceana, a crowd from Cork called Smithereens, kind of a jazz funk kind of group. A really interesting new Peruvian Irish producer called Vatican Jail, and then we've added to that with people like Session Victim, who are kind of world touring German live electronic band, Nick Höppner, who's a very famous German DJ, and then we've got Frankie Downbeat, also from Limerick, Pete Isconaut from Galway, Peter Curtin, who's well known from Limerick and Clare. So a good collection from all over the country and abroad to bring a really nice mix of moods to play.
But I suppose, Emma, part of the appeal of A Sliver of Light is that it isn't just the ears that are engaged, but the mind and body as well. So aside from the musical aspect, there's other events, experiences and curated talks happening too?
Yeah, John Lillis, who's a bit of a local treasure, many will know him as the DJ My Name is John, is a really brilliant interviewer. He did a great chat with Paula Carr last year and he'll be back this year. We have the Ambient Orbit, who again, that's from Peter Curtin from RT Lyric FM, and that's a really lovely, gentle start to one of the days to Saturday. I think it's an ambient performance of ambient music from a bunch of musicians. They do a regular show on RT Lyric FM, which is a beautiful thing. And of course, you have all that Doolin has to offer. As mentioned before, there's saunas, swims. There's, of course, all the great restaurants in Hotel Doolin itself. And I suppose with the rain hopping off the window here outside, one of the really great things about Sliver of Light is that it's all inside. There's no there's no trekking to tents or anything like that. All the music is contained within the hotel, and the hotel has such a great offering at all times. It just means that you're catered for start to finish there in the Hotel Doolin.
Lovely. It sounds all very, very cosy, particularly as you say with the weather outside being bad. Hotel Doolin already booked out, so for people looking to head along, is that still a possibility, or have the full up sign already up, which I mean would be good for you guys that it's sold out already?
Yeah, well, the Hotel Doolin's been sold out for a little while, but obviously around Doolin there's lots and lots of accommodation options nearby. There's Fiddle and Bow, there's the Doolin Inn, I believe, and there's a whole host of Airbnb and self-catering options throughout Doolin and the Hinch area, of course. So yeah, plenty room at the inn. Keep them coming. Tickets can be grabbed at www.asliveroflight.ie.
Fantastic. Well, look, 2025's edition went very well, despite, as you say, Storm Aon playing a part, although there was, a benefit as well. It very much made Hotel Doolin a focal point. I'm sure this year's edition, from the 23rd to the 25th of January, will go very well as well. Emmet, thank you very much for joining us on the show. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.